opportunity to speak about the importance of women's health and obviously affecting a large section of the population, and the importance of bringing it to national importance as part of this parliament's work, because women's health is central to the life, longevity and the full quality of life that we need to make sure that the citizens of our community live. And Women's Health Week, held annually in the first week in September as a national campaign led by Jean Hales for Women's Health, is promoting health awareness, education, empowerment for women, girls and gender-diverse people across Australia. It celebrates the 2025 theme, Say Yes to You, which encourages women to prioritise their health, to speak up and access the care that they desperately need, and values that align with the government's commitment around equity, dignity and universal health care. But that's shared across the political aisle, because we all want to see the best health outcomes for Australians, because making sure that we can access health services that Australians need is incredibly important for making sure that our citizens live out the best in their lives. And of course, it's making sure that people get support over the full length of their lifestyle. We have chronic conditions like endometriosis and polycystic ovary syndrome, which has a deep impact on people's daily lives and work and their capacity to be able to live out a quality of life and in their personal relationships. We know that in Australia, approximately 1 in 7 women are diagnosed with endometriosis by the age of 24 to 49 and around 8.8% by the age of 26 to 31. It affects around 5 to 13% of reproductive age women, depending on their diagnostic criteria. Diagnosis often takes 6 to 8 years longer, with sufferers encountering dismissive care and enduring emotional and physical strain. This is not something that is unique to any section of the community, Deputy Speaker. In the Goldstein electorate, 52% of female residents have a median age of around 43 years of age. And a Goldstein constituent who wants to remain anonymous contacted the Goldstein office recently to share her explicit experience. She lives with both endometriosis and polycystic ovary syndrome and faces debilitating pain, extensive medical appointments, financial strain from allied health costs and telehealth fees, and the excruciating prospect of considering surgical intervention due to a lack of accessible, affordable care. She wrote to the Goldstein office about the devastating reality of these chronic conditions, the relentless pain, fatigue and the need to constantly juggle multiple medical appointments, often during business hours, forcing her to choose between her health and her income. So despite the promises of making sure that there was going to be the full access to healthcare services, that isn't always something that's actually being delivered to people in the community and being realised. She is 28 years old and still very much in the youth and prime of her life. Yet she is already being forced to consider surgical removal of an ovary, not solely for medical reasons, but because the financial cost of ongoing care is becoming unsustainable for her. This, of course, is not something that anybody would wish for any woman, let alone somebody so young at such a tender age in their lives. Of course, we always look forward to the future with hope. And we hope, of course, she does as well, because as difficult as her challenges are, and we're not seeking in any way to diminish them, there must always be hope about your healthcare journey and making sure that you can live out the best of your life. So we wish you all the best on your journey. But it is a year, the theme of 2025 for Women's Health Week is to say yes to you, and that's why it's important to make sure you prioritise your health in this important week. It's not about being selfish, it's actually about doing the right thing by you so you can be there not just for yourself, but for your loved ones, for your family, for your friends and for the other people in your care network. Because it's so important to make sure that you are your best self and being able to contribute the most to those who in your broader network. Because for too many women, the reality is that too many people wait too long to get the support and assistance they need. And when they delay appointments because of whether it's out-of-pocket costs or because they have barriers around time commitments or capacity to be able to access services, it places a bigger long-term health consequence on them that can have longer-term consequences. Making sure that dignity is at the centre of all healthcare policy is incredibly important, and women shouldn't be left behind on this important journey where we make sure that healthcare serves everybody. Because investment is not just about fairness in healthcare, it's about making sure people can live out their full dignity and their full participation in society, in the economy and, of course, in their family. So today is an opportunity to take stock, but also to be part of the solution.